We had a great weekend recruiting this past week, and kids focused on their academics, and that was a great thing for our young men. And also our preparation for Florida. It's a big game and one-game series. Florida's a very good football team. Excellent defense, excellent skill position on offense, extremely good quarterback, freshman quarterback. So we got our hands full.
Yeah, Odell, getting the bye week, and then also you were able to rest some guys the week before to try to get them healthy. How healthy are you? Did you guys practice Sunday, and how close to full strength are you with at least guys that aren't out for the season?
Well, some of the guys that we had out in the game, they'll be back for the game, and they kind of mended up, and we let them know, hey, you guys get healthy, get your treatment, and get back to practice on Sunday coming. And yesterday was a good practice, very good practice.
Coach, you've been around this rivalry for a long time. Just what are your memories of it? What do you remember most about it?
You're gonna laugh when I say this. Back in the day, I used to love seeing Coach Bowden and the old ball coach go shake hands midfield. That's one of my favorite memories about this rivalry. But in this game, in Florida State, it's a great rivalry throughout the nation because you have kids on both teams that played against each other in high school and played with each other. So they're going out there to play great football to show who's the best, and it's just a great rivalry.
Coach, while you guys were out recruiting, what was the response from the kids as you guys were talking to them, with you guys obviously being in a state of transition?
First of all, we can't talk to the kids. We were talking to the coach and going to football games, and the response, kids calling the Sunday, they very good response.
Last time both quarterbacks were healthy, both Honeybrook and Blackman were healthy, I think it was before the Miami game, and Alex started that one. What sort of conversations are you having with Kendall about what you guys are looking for in practice for your quarterbacks?
Well, every day we practice, we compete. We're going to find out who's playing the best in practice. That's who's going to play. And Kendall and myself, we get together and talk about the situations on offense that we need to talk about, like quarterback, running back, whomever. And we discuss that as a staff.
Just going back to your memories of the rivalry, just what was it like playing in this game? It's a special game for players from Florida. Just what do you remember about playing in this game? And just...
I tell you what, the things I remember. It's a very intense football game. You better be ready to play because both sides are going to be ready. And that's how it is when Florida State and Florida play throughout the nation. There's going to be a lot of people watching this game, but the intensity level, that's what I remember.
Coach, with the bowl game already locked up this week in practice, how do you make sure that same level of attention to detail and intensity is there in practice?
Well, to answer your question, every week, that's how we're going to practice. We're going to pay attention to details, and that's the way the Florida State should practice every week. And not one week we should go in there thinking about another team, preparing for another team. We need to be thinking about practicing well, preparing well. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get back at Florida State in a short period of time. Gene.
With a few more practices under your belt over the last week or so, or last little while, are you happy with the way Coach Levitt and Coach Edwards have fit in, and are they maybe, filling into their roles a little bit more and kind of defining what they're doing and able to help out?
Yes, I'm extremely happy. A lot of energy from Coach Edwards and Coach Levitt. Both of them have a lot of experience. And if you look at it, Levitt been coaching so long, and Mario Edwards playing in the next level and been out watching kids, and Well, hey, just a lot of excitement out there with those two guys. It's been great.
Odell, you've been down as a player, as a coach several times in Gainesville for games, how loud and crazy you can get. It's going to be a night game. What do you tell the guys that haven't been through an experience like that? And will you do certain preparations, crank up music, fan noise during the week to help them prepare for that?
Well, it's not much you can do. Play loud music, but the main thing, you got to focus on the now. Focus on your fundamentals and technique, and try to block out the rest of it. And like I say, we're going to play loud music, but focus on your fundamentals and techniques, and everything else will take care of itself.
Odell, their tight end has had a really good season. What is he? Have you guys? How good is he compared to other tight ends you guys have gone up against?
He's a very good tight end. The kid, 6'5", 6'6", 250 pounds, runs well, catches the ball well, and we got to prepare for him. We've been preparing for him. He's an excellent football player.
Is there any difference, like, for you heading into this game? You know, you've been a defensive line coach heading into this game, but now you're the man in charge. Is there any, is the feeling any different this time around?
No. Football's football. The way you approach a game, you practice hard, you practice on your fundamentals, making sure you cover all bases, and get ready to play football.
Seems like a lot of the success you had 2 years ago and this season has been kind of appealing to the emotions of the players, making them play hard and rallying them around what this university means. Is that something that you can kind of keep going to, especially in a rivalry game, appealing to the emotions and pushing those buttons to get the best out of your players?
First of all, being a Florida State football player, you should play with those emotions all the time. A coach shouldn't have to rally you around. Once you're a Seminole, you're always a Seminole. You're unconquered, you play for Florida State University. Pride.
Allison. Coach, you've already talked about just kind of focusing on the fundamentals to get ready for Florida this week, but what's different about a rivalry week? Is there a little bit more juice at practice?
Oh, yes, it's a lot more juice in practice. And kids know what's at stake. And I always say this, it's a one-game series. You know, throw out the record book and just get ready to play ball because both teams are going to come to play.
I wanted to ask you, in 1987, you were on a team that went down there, and Florida State hadn't beaten Florida in a while, and they were able to get a win down there. So what are your memories from that game and that time of getting over and beating Florida down there?
My memory, they jumped up 14-3, and we had to come back and win that football game. And that was an intense, hard-hitting game. You know, it had one of the all-time greatest running backs at the time. We didn't know it back then, Emmitt Smith, and that was a battle. And I never forget that. They jumped up 14-3, and we had to come back and win the game. It was a battle.
Coach, Thanksgiving this week, just what are your plans for the team, and do you plan to get together with them?
Well, we're going to practice well Tuesday, we're going to practice well Wednesday, and we're going to practice Thursday morning. And after that, each player, each coach segment, they're going out to their house, and we're going to have Thanksgiving with our segment. So myself as a coach, I think that's very important. So the guys can go out to the house, relax, eat, sleep, then eat some more, then sleep some more. You know, and like you say, Florida State built on a family. And that's what I wanted our kids to do, go out and have fun with their coaches and the wives and the kids and things. We're just going to have a good time.
Go to Bob, one of your left.
Coach, with Marvin Wilson being out, what kind of role has Corey Durden played just as far as being a leader up front on the defense now?
Corey Durden is playing a big role. He's being himself. That's the role I want him to play. Play hard, play discipline, and play 100 miles per hour.
Odell, Florida's quarterback Trask has obviously had an excellent season, even though he came off the bench. What does he do so well and makes him so difficult to defend?
Well, first of all, the kid, you could tell he's He's an intelligent quarterback. He makes the right reads. He put them in great plays, and he don't make many mistakes. And he's a kid. He's mobile. He's a lot mobile than you think he is. Seems like he has a knack for the game.
Odell, you guys, I think you only had one sack against Alabama State. Was there anything that were you disappointed you guys didn't create more pressure, and or what kind of things can you guys do at this point in the season to get more pressure on the quarterback?
Well, you always want to get 10 sacks a game if you can. But a lot of people, they're getting rid of the ball. And what we got to do, we got to start batting balls down, getting our hands up, matching hands, batting balls down. The kids, they're working hard this week, focusing on, like I say, fundamentals. That's part of it, being fundamentally sound. You have a guy like Marvin Lee, guy that pressure the quarterback, knock the quarterback down 5 times a game. But Corey said, and Janaris Robinson, they really been working hard this week on certain things.
You talked about recruiting earlier. You guys, how have you been able to not lose some of the commitments you guys have? For the most part, the class is still intact.
It's staff recruiting. Staff recruiting. Everybody's working hard. The recruiting department, the football staff, the coaches, everybody working hard, communicating our message. And all together, like I say, not one man can do it. And myself, and when I get a chance, I try to talk to them every other night, get them to call me back or I text them. But it's all about the Florida State brand. Florida State brand is powerful.
If I could ask you maybe about some injury stuff specifically. Andrew Baselli, is that a guy that's been practicing for you this week? Do you hope to have him available for Saturday?
Yes, he's going to be all right. He's going to be there. And his ankle, and he's going to be okay.
Cam looking kind of back to what he's been for you guys?
He'll be back.
Pokey? Ontario Wilson?
No.
And I guess also just from a big picture sort of standpoint, I mean, this is the first game you'll be coaching, I think, where you're a double-digit underdog as the coach. I mean, does that affect you at all? Do you change your mentality or the way you're going to approach this game?
Man, I didn't know anything about that. Where did you find that at?
The internet.
Well, I don't look at the internet much. Seriously. I don't know anything about that.
Anything else?
Has Jordan Travis continued to progress at practice? Is he making strides and growing in this offense week over week?
He's been Jordan, practicing hard, giving good looks, and being himself. Every day at practice, that's Jordan Travis. Steady Eddie.